Welcome to Season 7, Episode 4 of the Two Manager Project, and we'll start as always with Manager 1 at Royal Wootton Bassett. Bassett currently sat in 17th on 24 points, which is literally only 4 points above 21st, which is the top of the relegation section, and of course it's only one more point ahead of Maidenhead than that, who are currently strapped to bottom. So we've been clawing and fighting for every point we can get. Just to show you, since the last time you saw us, which was against Fylde back in September, well, we lost against Chesterfield, Gateshead, York and Tranmere. Then we managed to draw with Halifax, and then we managed to string 2 wins together, Solihull Moors and Crawley. Got knocked out in the FA Cup, 4th qualifying round against Slough, which was a bit disappointing because we'd done really well to go 2-0 up and then just crumbled at the end. Maidenhead, who are currently bottom, we should have beaten but didn't. That's one that the board isn't very happy about, as you can imagine. Boreham Wood we drew with. Dagenham Redbridge we drew with. We then beat Maidstone, which was fantastic. Lost to AFC Telford, which wasn't too surprising. AFC Telford are up in 7th. And then drew with Yeovil, drew with Alfreton, drew with Cheltenham, and literally just beat Woking in the last game. Next match, of course, is the derby, which is Newport County. But like I say, we are past the halfway point, and, well, Bassett are far from safe, put it that way. If we go over to Manager 2, however, at Newport County, life is pretty good. If we take a look at the league, they're in 4th. They're only 4 points off top spot, and they do have a game in hand. We have been top for a good proportion of this season. If we actually go to here, as you can see, we were first before we dropped to 4th after our last 2 defeats. Unfortunately, one of them was against Millwall, which was a replay in the FA Cup, but it was worth doing nevertheless. But if we go back to last time you saw us, we lost against Macclesfield. Since then, it's been fairly solid. 3 straight wins: Cheltenham, Stockport, Leyton Orient, a draw with Solihull Moors, a draw with Woking, a win over Alfreton, draw with Boreham Wood, 2-0 win over Staines in the FA Cup 4th qualifier, and then we lost to Tranmere, which was sort of the only blot since Macclesfield. Tranmere currently sitting mid-table. We then beat Fylde, drew with Maidstone and Eastleigh, which was the FA Cup first round. Beat Gateshead, beat Eastleigh in the replay, lost to Chester, which was a bit of a disappointing match, I'll tell you that much. Chester, of course, where did we go from there? There we go, a 3rd. So they're above us at the moment, but not one we wanted to lose, really. Beat York. York at the time were top, so that was nice. And then we drew in the 2nd round against Millwall in the FA Cup. And as previously mentioned, just got hammered 4-1. But we did lose against Dagenham and Redbridge in the league, which again was quite disappointing. Dagenham and Redbridge had gone 1-0 up. Mamadou Toure equalised, but Wally got one in 79th minute, which denied us the 3 points, unfortunately. So up against Royal Wootton Bassett today. Of course, the previous time they faced each other, which I think was the first episode of the season, we managed, or should I say, Newport and Manager 2 managed a 1-0 victory. And then the interesting thing is, just to give you an idea of perspective, if we actually look at Bassett from Manager 2's perspective and start looking at the best players on there, Martin Parr, obviously, who we've got on loan at the moment, looks pretty good, as does Ison. But yeah, when you look at him in terms of how we've scouted him, he doesn't look great at all. He's only 2 stars with 3-star potential ability, and yet he is a top Bassett player when you look at him from Manager 1's point of view, which I will do now just to show you. Here we go. Mr. Ison. Here he is. Lewis Ison. So yeah, he's 3.5 stars for us with 4.5 stars potential, but as you can see, he's only 2 stars for Newport County. So that actually shows you I guess the gulf in quality between the two teams, which also shows you why Newport are top, and or at least in the top quarter, and Bassett are struggling to stay out of relegation. There have been one or two transfers that Manager One's made at Royal Wootton Bassett. Last one you would have heard about would have been Jacob Cooper, who we brought in as a centre-half. He's been pretty solid. He's, again, improved the quality a little bit, but we brought in Daniel Wilkes from Concord as a goalkeeper, and he's been present ever since. He's obviously a slight improvement over Girling. Well, I say slight, fairly considerable at this point. Then we have Jordan Hallam, we brought in from Burgess Hill. He's attacking midfielder, and again, he's not been doing bad. Part of it is having that option, or that position as an option, so that we weren't limited tactically speaking, because I've had to chop and change a lot this season just to try and scrape points together. So Lewis Ison, he's sort of the one you just looked at, with only like a 2-star ability. He's, I guess, our top defender at the moment. But again, another new signing to strengthen up the back four, which was great. And then finally we brought in Martin Parr on loan from Swindon. And yeah, he's only had 4 games, managed 1 assist, but that's an average of 7.0. So quite happy with how he's doing. I'm pretty sure we also have him pegged as a future transfer, but realistically, if Bassett managed to survive the Vanarama National, which we are far from being safe, let me tell you, well, it's going to be at least 1, if not 2 seasons of sort of trying to build up, plus, not to mention, I have kind of upset the finances a wee bit. I'm already over the committed spending, but I'm a goodly amount over the with the current spending at 8,873. Given that our budget is 7,139. I always tried hard to work on the budget and keep it tight with Bassett, but I've been trying to buy safety for the Vanarama National for them. As far as Manager 2 is concerned, there's also been some transfers there. Let's see, I'm not sure which you would have seen. I think you've seen Kirby. I think you've seen McKay on loan from Preston. We recently brought in Mark Dove on loan from Norwich, and he's not done bad for us, mainly as a sub. But he has made a few stats, as you can see. Very decent physicals. We signed Courtney Macklin from Kingstonian for 11.25 grand. Again, central midfield, as you can see, his mentals are good. His physicals, he's not a quick player, but he's got great teamwork, great leadership. So that's sort of a big part of why he's here. And he's been doing fabulous. Two starts, 1 assist, 7.35 average rating. So fancy him doing quite well in the future. And then there's been a couple more frees, which is Taylor Richards, who has been stunning. I mean, absolutely stunning. I mean, look at him. Arguably the best technically skilled player in the club. Fantastic physicals and decent mentals too. And as you can see, 11 starts, 5 goals, 3 assists, 7.23 average rating. So yeah, he's been great. And good bit of business. Signed him for now. He's worth 425,000. I'm fairly sure that is, a player that is, is worth the most out of our squad. Bradley James, another free transfer, right wing. Again, fantastic physicals. He's got some potential, but he's on a bit of a decline, as that always seems to happen. But I will yell at them. But he's not done too bad. 5 starts, 4 sub appearances, 2 goals and assists. So he's not quite found his feet with us yet, but like I say, look at his physicals. I think he's going to be just fine. It's match time. Royal Wootton Bassett away to Newport County. For Newport County in goal, it is Rose, a back four of Collins, Snelling, O'Hara and Apaya Forson. McKay and Rathbone, central midfield, left wing Toure. Attacking midfield, Macklin, right wing James, up front it's Hardy. And for Bassett in goal, it is Wilkes, a back four of Edwards, Ison, Taylor and Stabana. Left wing Dalton, central midfield, Parr and Finch. Outright it is Kosher, and up front it is Baptiste and Lansdowne. Okay, well, for you guys at Newport, you know exactly what you should be doing. I'm expecting a much better performance today, because that was horrible last week. And for you, Bassett, You know what? Let's go cause an upset. That seems to work for us this season, because bearing in mind everybody's favourite for every match apart from us. Okay, kick off. Royal Wootton Bassett in the blue with the yellow socks, and Newport County in the yellow, or the tangerine, possibly. And it is a Bassett kick-off. I'm just going to keep it on key highlights, but Bassett pushing forward there a bit. Desperate to put on shouts. Deadn't, because of course, and it's a bit of a deadlock at the moment, though. Clearly Newport are a little bit foulier. Oh, they've had 3 shots now. We're coming up to the 20th minute. 4 shots from them, only 1 on target. Bassett yet to record a shot. Wilkes with the goal kick for Bassett. Only as far as Taylor. There we go. Oh, intercepted by Collins. Torre coming forward for Newport. Puts it through to James. James has a go. Oh my goodness. Couldn't have been much closer than that. Goodness gracious. Well. Oh, free kick from Edwards for Bassett. Into the pack, but it's cleared. James picks it up to counter-attack now for Newport. He's coming forward. He's got one in front of him. It's come wide. Puts a cross in. Hardy's there, and it's goal for Newport County. It's Joe Hardy's 7th goal of the season. I think I was showing you the quality issue earlier. This is just an example of it. But nice work from James. Lovely cross in. Hardy getting on the volley. Newport County 1. Royal Wootton Bassett 0. Oh dear, come on Bassett. I don't know who's taking responsibility for that, but clearly Parr and Dalton aren't having the best of games. Lansdowne, pretty terrible. And it's half time, and stats show that Newport have been dominant. They're also 1-0 up. So, I'm just going to say that you lot are doing just fine. Carry on. And for Bassett, well, I think we've got work to do. Let's start with... Yeah, go on, expect a much better showing from you in the second half, but I am going to make some changes because... Poor old Rathbone. Oh. This is not... I hate it when it happens like this. Here we go. Tactics. Royal Wootton Bassett. There we go. Martin Parr, off your trot. We're going to bring on Elliot Bolton, and Elliot Bolton is going to be a deep-lying playmaker on support, as is his mostly preferred position. As you can see, he's not been playing as much this season. I think he's been struggling with the step-up a wee bit. As you can see, he was pretty solid for us in the Southern Premier and Vanarama South, but he's not like the step-up here, let me tell you. So... that's one substitution. Who else is struggling? Well, Archie Edwards. But I have nobody really to bring on for him, so he's just going to have to stay as is. Jackie Finch also not having the best of games. I think I might bring on Cooper for you. And I wouldn't mind dropping Cooper back. Would you be better off as... yeah, let's try that. We'll leave that for now. I'm going to see if Lansdowne can pick his game up a bit. Let's go back to the team talk, actually. It's the Bassett one. Passionately, there's a lot more to come from you. So let's see if you've got it. Start second half. It is a Newport kickoff. Mackay, Macklin. There we go. Come on, Bassett. We've had 1 shot, 1 on target. Oh, I keep wanting to hit those make changes. Edwards on the ball. Puts it in the middle. Mackin picks it up. Toure has a go. Just wide for Newport. Well, Ison with a free kick for Bassett finds Taylor. Oh, and it's nicked from him by Hardy, and Hardy's on a run. And oh, he was very unlucky. I thought that was going in. That would have been his second. He's clearly on and up. Clearly very happy. Come on, Bassett. 2 shots, only 1 on target. Corner cleared by Stabana. Snelling now picks it up for Newport, but yeah, we're only seeing Newport coming forward. Ison with a free kick to Cooper. Bolton now. Come on, Cooper. Let's get forward a bit. Puts it out wide. Stabana, who cuts in. Finds Lansdowne. Baptiste has a go, and oh, it's just wide. That could have been equaliser, but it was not to be. Good effort, Bassett. But yeah, Lansdowne struggling, Dalton struggling. I didn't make any subs for Newport. Oh, well tackled. Jones picks it back up for Newport. Out deep effort of Piaforson. Puts a nice ball in. James picks it up. He's having a go. Mackin picks up the loose ball. Rathbone Mackin. Courtney Macklin, sorry. 2-0 to Newport County. Yeah, he's been handy since he's arrived. Yep, set it up lovely for him. Rathbone to Macklin. Rathbone, of course, wanting a bit more playing time recently and has performed quite well since I've given it to him, so I'm not going to complain too much. But coming up to the 88th minute, free kick for Newport into the pack. Toure has a go, but Wilkes gathers it. But doesn't look like Bassett are going to get back into this game. Lansdowne puts the ball forward to Baptiste to counter-attack. Finds Coleshaw. Coleshaw is dispossessed, and that's the end of the match. Newport County 2, Royal Wootton Bassett 0. Pretty much the result that everybody was expecting, but obviously not ideal for Bassett. So yeah, I'm very pleased with the result in your performance there, Newport. And for Royal Wootton Bassett, just one of those days. I mean, morale isn't too bad at the moment with Bassett because, like I say, we are out of the drop zone, sort of, even if it's that close. In fact, I don't know if we're now still out of the drop zone after that result. We'll find out, I guess. So if we finish up with a final review, Newport County, of course, winning 2-0 over Royal Wootton Bassett. Leaves Bassett sat in 17th, which is still above the drop zone. We are only on 24 points and, well, Fylde are only 3 points behind us at this point. So Maidenhead, 2 points behind us, plus they have a game in hand. Would have been nice to win it. Wasn't very likely, to be fair, and our goal difference has dropped back down to -10. We did get it up as far as -8, which was nice, but we'll see if we can still improve that. Newport, of course, still not top, unfortunately. Boreham Wood obviously had a good result today. See if we can find it. Yeah, there we go, sorry. Beat Halifax. And York. Why am I not? There we go, bottom, beat Alfreton. But in terms of Chesterfield, they lost, which is good because that means they are still not too many points ahead of Royal Wootton Bassett. But ultimately, Bassett still do have a fight on their hand. In terms of the schedule, I'm going to come back now for the end of the season and play this out. As previously mentioned, I do want to move the save along, and the best way to do that is to reduce the number of episodes and play more. So, like I say, next episode will be the end of the season, and next season is planned to be a 3-episode season. One for the start of the season, one for the middle of the season like this one, and one at the end. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.